For Hapsters, it's Thursday, and I'm not William Red.
You were just said hello to by Mike Roberts of Research Paranormal. Melissa, it's actually funny that you bring this up today. After your video on your main channel where you showed off the new car, I had a little moment when you showed it. And it's going to take a bit of a story to explain that, but the story fits today's theme. When I first received my license, my grandmother decided to give me her old car. This is actually the way that my sister and I both got our cars. Each one of our grandmothers gave us theirs, and then they got a new one. My sister, unfortunately for her, got a 1986 Buick Century that hadn't been driven in several years and did not run that well. I, on the other hand, received my grandmother's 1987 Mercury Grand Marquis. This started a strange trend. I drove the 87 all through high school, and then when I graduated in 97, I just dated myself, didn't I? My dad didn't want me driving up to college in a 10-year-old car. I traded that in for a 1992 Grand Marquis that was my mother's. So going up to college, I drove the 92. I drove it back and forth to Raleigh and home. I kept that car until 2002. I traded that in for a 96 Grand Marquis, also my mother's. Are you seeing a pattern yet? Now, the story with the 96 is actually where it gets really weird. I'd already noticed my strange 10-year pattern of cars where I would keep them until the car itself was 10 years old. I didn't always keep it for 10 years. In fact, none of them I kept for 10 years. But the previous two were 10 years old when I got rid of them. Now, when it came to the 96, I thought I was going to break that trend because my dad and I had already discussed that neither one of us was really ready for a new car. And since the 96 was the last Mercury that my family bought, I wasn't going to get any more hand-me-downs. So it was decided that I was going to keep the 96 past the 10-year mark. Or so we thought. I was coming home from a friend's wedding, November 06, when I was in a car wreck about 5 miles from my apartment. Spooky, yes? I was stopped in the middle of the highway because there was a piece of scaffolding or something in the road, and there were cars in the far lanes. I was waiting for them to go so I could move over. The woman driving the Ford F-150 speeding along behind me didn't notice this until the last minute. Boom! Trunk completely gone. Fortunately, I'd put all my belongings in the back seat. Otherwise, I would have lost a lot of expensive equipment. After the wreck, I got a 2001 Grand Marquis, which was the first Grand Marquis that I owned that wasn't previously owned by a family member. I'm not really expecting anything to happen with the 2001 until sometime in 2011. Because at this point, I'm pretty much sure that fate intends for me to keep cars until they are 10 years old. However, that's not what happened. And this past Christmas, I upgraded to a 2009 Grand Marquis. And it's a white one. So, Melissa, when you showed your car in your vlog, I was understandably excited. Also, just a word of warning, be prepared for people to slow down when they're driving in front of you, because I guarantee they're going to think you're a cop. There is my extremely strange and curious history of automobile ownership. Melissa, thank you for asking about the cruise. It actually was a lot of fun, but I think I've talked long enough, so I think I will leave things here for today. I hope you're all well. Melissa, we'll see you tomorrow.